Ladies and gentlemen, from the Microsoft Theater here in downtown Los Angeles.
Hey, yo, I see you, man.
Brought to you by Shawn.
We're going to go light today for all the haters of the song. We're going to go light.
And for the people that love it, sorry, you just came up short on this one.
we got some things to get into.
Yeah, you can't please everybody.
Oh, no.
I don't try to.
No.
Nah, and do. I don't.
No,
and absolutely does not. If there's anyone I know in life that does not, it's Ant.
And then you.
Oh, that's fair.
Because you are.
Me and Carson might be most likely.
Carson, I think Carson in front of you, Ant.
I don't know. Only person I care about, maybe the household. I don't know if Carson be at it with it at the household with it too, but at the household, I try to keep it cool.
Yeah, you have to.
Yo, okay, Carson. All right, Carson. I was like, you a different type of beast. If you like, nah.
Yeah, no, you gotta keep it. You gotta keep.
Man.
Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah, some stuff.
That's the truth.
Yeah, man. Some stuff I don't be agreeing with, but I take the L.
Yeah.
Hey, that saying is flawed.
Do you think so?
All right, here we go.
Here we go. From a direction.
Shawn, you want to be happy too?
Yeah, happy life, happy wife doing what she wants you to do. Happy life. That's what.
Yeah. Shawn, you want to be happy, man?
Yeah, that saying need to come with directions. Yeah, I need to.
Oh man.
Nobody told me.
This fool's an idiot.
Nobody told me.
You look about 10 years younger with your hair like this, by the way.
Yeah, you do.
I appreciate you.
The facial hair balance, that's like he's got like an old man goatee, but then the young cat hair.
Yeah,
I'm trying to live a happy life. Wifey does not want me to cut this.
Oh, all right. Hey, there you go. See, that goes back to the old rule.
I'm in Puerto Rico and told her I was gonna shave, and she said, "You bet not." I was like, "I ain't tell you I'm gonna shave yet. Why don't you relax?"
How was it down in Puerto Rico?
Puerto Rico was nice, man. I haven't been, we ain't been nowhere in a long time, but for me to go back home to Cleveland, one of the things I look forward to is the weather, especially in the spring and in the summertime, in the summertime. So going down to Puerto Rico really reminded me of going back home in the sense of just the weather was really nice. You could roll down the windows and actually roll, and it was no thing. And it was nice, man. Ring City has performed once again. And I was thinking about this before we got on, and I said, you know what? I'm going to say this, and I want everybody to know that this is unsolicited. Ring City USA has done a fantastic job of putting on some boxing shows so far. And I would implore either of you to disagree with me, but I just feel like it has been fairy tale for them so far, doing one show in November, then 2 in December in LA. Temperature was dropping. It was cold. I'm not going to report how cold it was, but they made it through it. And after the final show, I said, dang, they ended with a bang, and we've made it through this. This was the worst that could have happened. It was a bad day of weather out there, and that didn't happen. And then you fast forward first weekend in Puerto Rico, and exactly the same things. I think all the fighters they performed and delivered. And then when you talk about the small details of what we were going to be missing and things like that, and even the weather again was you got those tropical storms. So everybody day of is kind of running around. Hey, pray for no rain, and it didn't rain, and everybody performed. So I'm gonna go on record for saying I work for Ring City and I work for NBC, but they have never told me to say anything about them at all. But I want to go on record for saying if you're missing the fights on NBC, tune in, because you're missing some really good boxing. I know you guys don't know all of the fighters that are fighting, but they perform and they entertain. And at the end of the day, that's what boxing fans want. So Make sure y'all catch NBC in 2 weeks on Thursday.
I think that would be the only, and it's not even a personal critique from me. I think the general boxing community, that might be the drawback, is they don't know the guys. Sometimes it's something where, hey, so-and-so is fighting, and you say, oh, okay, I know him, I'll tune in, or even, oh, I know he fought, you're kind of connecting certain things. Yeah. So I think if anything, what they're going to have to show is the fights, the action, and the matchups are worthy of you tuning in, even if it's not for the name recognition. But yeah, that's the thing with boxing too, is like everybody follows
who you know. So
Yeah.
it's not really one of those sports where you just pick it up on a Thursday night and you're looking for something exciting. It's kind of like you kind of need a push to get there.
Yeah, that could be what it is though. And I think Ant and I've kind of mentioned it before. You want action fights. So I feel like if it's Thursday night, you don't really, even if it's to the extent of you don't really have anything else to do, sit down, turn on NBC Sports Network, two guys, and you've mentioned it before. There's not really an A side. So it's not one of those fights where you're going to go into it. I mean, if we can go to Canelo's fight, Canelo, and it's so lopsided, you're just like, what is this? Like, why did I watch this? These fights aren't like that. Yeah. And if they are like that, it's because somebody stepped up and had a great performance. Yeah. But the matchups are always too low to an extent.
Listen, everybody, welcome to the Puerto Podcast. Showtime, Shawn Porter, Carson A. Merck, Anthony Bernal. We're about to get our first guest in here. It's actually my dad's fighter. So, yeah, we're about to welcome him to the podcast. I tell you, I was having him on today.
No.
Oh, my bad. Are you unprepared?
No, I'll freestyle some stuff.
I know you do.
Miracle spirits.
Maliek Mayhem Montgomery, 8-0, 8 KOs, coming by way of my mom's hometown now, Macon, Georgia. So we got a lot of ties to this kid, and my dad is just taking him on as and put him on the new kid on the block, and trying to get him to make some noise. He's had 4 fights with my dad so far since he's gotten going with my dad, signed with my dad, Kenny Porter, for anybody out there who doesn't know.
That would have been a plot twist if it wasn't Kenny Porter.
Yeah, right.
Like, oh, by the way, it's actually Steve Porter.
Yeah, trying to get him to turn his
this guy has one punch stopping power. So right now his dad's Kenny Porter's adding to his repertoire.
Don't say all that. Let's ask him.
Do
he?
Malik, you think you got one punch stopping power, right?
Hey, I ain't gonna say I ain't gonna go that far. I ain't go that far, but I got some.
He been hanging out with Shawn too long. Getting humble.
I mean, 8-0 with 8 KOs. It's really hard to dispute that. Whether it's 1 punch or 10 punches, somebody's going to sleep eventually.
Have you gone past 4 rounds yet, or to the 4th round yet?
I don't think so. I think the last one might have made it to the 4th, but it was like 10 seconds into the 4th or something like that.
Okay. 10 seconds. Okay. So they saw a lot in the 3rd and leading up to, and they see, we get one time, we call it.
It was one of them.
Well, I'll go ahead and kick it off, and I'll let the guys take over. We've been training together. I've been actually training with you more than you've been training with me. But I guess the only question I got for you right now is, how does it feel to be a part of Team Porter, and what do you think about everything so far?
Man, it feels amazing, man. Just to be able to get that type of experience, because a lot of these young upcoming fighters aren't getting that type of experience. And they sort of get it later on down the line, once they start talking about title contingency and stuff like that. But as of right now, like I couldn't trade this type of experience that I'm getting in for anything.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the critique of KP over the years is his only fighter is Shawn. That's kind of been, can he train other fighters? How do you think it is? He's a very demanding coach, as we all know. Is that something, are you just kind of built to deal with that, or is it something you had to adjust to a little bit?
I feel like I'm built for it. And I kind of feed off of it, just like I feel like he feeds off of my work ethic when it comes to, performing on a certain level and, doing the things that we need to do and executing the things that we need to execute in the ring and when we're training.
All right, just want to give people let people know, man, what weight class you at, where you come from, how you meet up with Shawn, with the Porters. You want to let people know?
Oh, well, I'm super featherweight 130 pound weight class. That's where I'm gonna be campaigning at. Name's Maliek Montgomery from Macon, Georgia, and I first met them in 2015 at the National Golden Gloves, and wasn't too much. I was fighting at the time, and we just met up and exchange numbers and stuff like that. Every now and then, I'll send them a good luck text or good job off of a win or a fight when Shawn had a fight coming up, and Shawn actually came down to Macon a couple times, and I know we might link up if he come down and stuff like that. And maybe a year back, I started doing more conversating with Coach Kenny, and we talked about it. Came up, the situation and the stuff that I was going through with the management team that I had at the time, and it wasn't working for me. It was stalling my career, and it held me back for a long time. And he helped me out of that situation. And what came about it was another conversation later on about possibly, coming together and doing it together as far as working with Coach Kenny. And we ended up making something happen, and we've been on a roll ever since.
All right.
And you mentioned kind of dealing with the management stuff that slowed you down a little bit. Do you feel, we mentioned it when we kind of gave your intro in it, when you guys linked up, do you feel any pressure to catch up to people that maybe you're a little bit behind because they didn't have those roadblocks?
No, I feel like everything is meant to happen when it happens. And like I said, I put in the work continuously up to this point. And right now we're doing really good. We've been fighting every month since I've gotten with Coach, and we're fighting again on the 19th this month. And so with that being said, I feel like we're moving at the pace we're going to move, and we'll get there whenever, the time is deemed necessary for us to be there.
Maliek, you're coming in at the right time, man. You're in one of the highest divisions, 130, 135-ish. Man, come on, man. We got to get it hot. Who you want, man? Hey, we got Ryan Garcia. They building their stuff up on the social media platform. You our guy. We're going to build you up. You ain't got to talk trash. I'll talk trash for you. Man, you're in one of the highest divisions. Like, you see somebody you want to fight down the road or anything like that?
As right now, no. I'm not looking that far ahead because, like I said, the structure that we set forth, me and Coach Kenny, and system he's put in place and how he's moving me. I'll get to them. I'll get to those fights. As right now, I'm worried about, the guys that I'm fighting right now and improving on my boxing ability, boxing IQ, and everything else, so that when I do, step in the ring with those guys, it's no contest.
Do you have any favorite fighters that you maybe modeled your game after? And don't say Shawn or dropping off the podcast.
I wouldn't say modeled my style out after, but some fighters that I admired coming up was Aaron Pryor, Usyk Chavez, fighters along that line, and those type fighters as far as their attitude towards fighting in itself. I feel like that was me.
When are we gonna see you on TV?
I don't know. We'll get there. My coach, like I said, he does everything as far as helping me prep for these fights, setting up, who I fight and when I fight. And when we're ready, you'll see us.
Mm-hmm. When is the next fight?
Next fight is on the 19th, which is roughly a week and some change. It's in Tampa, Florida.
Okay. And I got a feeling you're a lot like me. You've never seen any of the guys you fought before you got in the ring with them, right?
Nah. Yeah.
This fight coming up the same. You haven't seen this guy?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolute same.
Yeah. Do you even know the dude's name?
Nah.
Yes.
I think I might have glanced on BoxRec maybe, but other than that, no. And that was just to see if it was on there. But yeah, other than that, no.
And it's not a thing of you not caring. It's just it's part of the game. And a lot of people don't really understand. Like when you see last minute replacement fighters and stuff like that. Like this is where we come from. We come from a world where you don't know who you fighting when you get to the tournament until after the draw. You know what I mean? And then along the way, you start to see some certain guys. So that's kind of how you are right now. You kind of in the tournament. You know who's ahead. But you got to take the necessary steps to get there. So absolutely. You already know that. I'll see you tomorrow because we back on it.
Yeah.
My dad around?
Oh no, he's not around right now.
Okay.
He was gonna pop in if he was. I have a Georgia question for you, Maliek. Who is a lot of musical talent from Georgia? Who's the Mount Rushmore? Top 4 rappers from Georgia all time.
Whew.
You could include Outkast as one. I'll allow you to include Outkast as one.
Yeah. Outkast, most definitely. That's my number one. I'm always go. Yeah, that's my number one. I'm always going for them. I would have to say Ludacris, T.I., and the reason why I name these guys in particular because not only were they, great artists, but I feel like they were a part of, shaping the, Georgia and the South as far as their music goes. And Pastor Troy. Troy.
You threw one in there. Okay. Threw one in there.
I feel like Pastor Troy's got to be, that's a good walkout artist. I feel like he's got some songs that'll get you. I don't even fight, and I feel like they'd get me hyped to fight somebody.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
A Lupe fan too.
Oh, yeah. I love Lupe.
I can't turn on one Lupe hit he ain't never heard.
Yeah.
Be like, I go to the mixtape. You heard this one? He's like, oh yeah, that's the one right there. Be like, shut up. Hey Maliek, man.
Hold on before you go.
Yep.
Maliek, in the amateurs, I know you ran across some big names. Any matches names they would know that you fought in the past? Let these guys know you're a real one.
Lord, I've fought a lot of guys in the amateurs that now are successful pros. You got Teofimo Lopez, who right now, is, they say, the undisputed champion at lightweight, argumentatively, of course. You got Hector Tanahara, who's fighting, I think, Golden Boy right now. You have the Olympian, Carlos Balderas. Lord, the name, the guy Joseph Adorno, another kid from who fights on the top rank. It's list goes on. It's a lot of guys.
Yeah, I just want to let y'all know. Hey, we there's some W's in there, but we don't want to talk about that. I just want to let you know you're a real one.
Listen,
just want to let you know you got one right here.
Maliek Montgomery, 8-0, 8 KOs. He's fighting again March 19th. My dad, Coach Kenny Porter, has him on the fast track. After this fight, they are looking to get back in the ring relatively soon on TV so that everybody a part of this Puerto Way movement can see everything that this kid got going on. I'll see you tomorrow, man. Good luck.
All right, man. Thank you.
Hey, Maliek, if you knock Shawn out in camp, I need that tape.
Nah.
Allegedly.
Nah.
All right, man. I appreciate it.
All right, man. Thank y'all for having me.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, man. Man, y'all making that dude too humble, man.
Nah, that's how he is, man. That's where he come from, man.
Nah, he's always been like that since every time I talk to him.
Yeah, I feel like you was at you weren't with me when I met him at the Golden Gloves, huh?
Nah.
Yeah. Nah. I know Carson, you were there, and a couple of other. I think remember the fights we went to Golden Gloves. Alex was there, and a couple of people. Yeah, that was my first time meeting him way back in the day.
That was right when I got out here.
Yep. And he stayed in touch with us, man. I just thought he was gonna be one of those guys to meet us and hey, can we do this? Can we do that? And just kind of fade away into the sunset like a lot of guys do. But he just he always stayed on us. My dad and I both, stayed in communication and I think for a long time he wanted to do some things with my dad. So recently he saw an opportunity last summer and they started making the movement to make that happen. So they on the fast track, man. Four fights in 3 months, I believe. 4 fights in 4 months. So November, December, January, and February. Now they're about to go again this year. This month.
Yeah, keeping that tempo going.
Yeah, when's his stablemate gonna ever get back in the ring?
That's a very good question.
My dad's got a
couple
of
you, by the way, in case you were curious.
No. Hey, you nice. He rolled that right off. Okay.
Hey, the best is when Maliek by the end of the year is gonna have 12 fights and Shawn's only gonna have 1. Hey, that's your dad's primary fighter now.
Yeah. I don't think my dad. It's funny because when he first got Maliek going, my dad didn't care. But I think now my dad's like, all right, we sitting around too long. This is good. This is cool. I'm helping this kid. But let's get to it. You know what I mean? So, I'll be having a conversation with my dad when we get off here today.
Oh yeah. You'll be back in the ring soon. Yeah. I'm going summer in front of some fans.
Absolutely.
I'm lit. We Carson, we've been having an outfit ready for the Team Porter for about since the Spence fight, and then all hell broke loose.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Carson, we're gonna be fly. Also, somebody wanted to give you props. He didn't realize that you beat Adrian Broner, so he says now you're a real one.
Oh,
Yeah. I was like, that made him a good boxer. He's like, yeah, Adrian Broner's different.
The Usyk one is the best because it's like a cycle. People like forget about it, and then one person will bring up that you brought Usyk. Like somebody on Twitter will be like, "Yo, did you know Shawn Porter beat Oleksandr Usyk in the amateurs?" And then there's like 15 people like, "Oh, that's crazy! Did he really?" And then it kind of fades away, and then like 6 months later, "Yo, did you know?"
Did you know I fought Chunky James DeGale?
Yeah.
That yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it's we've talked about it before, but it's so strange. Like you're like DeGale, Boo Boo, Daniel Jacobs, all those guys. Obviously, Alexander Usyk. Yeah. Sean Estrada was a big guy. Like you had all these guys that are like considerably heavier as professionals, and you fought them. It's just funny.
Sean, what's the lowest you ever fought at? Was that 144 versus Adrian Broner?
Oh, okay. Yep, that 144.
Yeah, I was thinking, I'm like, that he been all over the place.
Yeah, I've been there since I was a 15,
7th grader.
15, yeah. I've been there, so
that was that's always funny when people will bring that up, and then I'm just like, yeah, he did, and it's just like people forget. It's just like weird. It goes kind of in cycles, but it's a feather in your cap that people like to bring up. So
yeah, for sure.
I guess the more feathers in your cap, the better.
So let's get to it, man. What you doing? We fighting Terence Crawford? What we doing?
Oh no, man. No, I ain't talked to my dad yet.
See how he plays? Hey, he literally plays like that. Y'all be thinking, when my friends and family always asking who he fighting, I literally don't know. So I find out when y'all find out. He don't be giving me nothing, man. I want people to know that. I don't know. Carson may know a little bit more. I don't be knowing nothing, man.
No, I know absolutely nothing.
Okay.
No, yeah, I know nothing.
All right, don't play my card, Carson.
The latest from Bob Arum was that they're working for Pacquiao in the Middle East somewhere, and then Shawn would be not a backup plan, but that Shawn would be the second option, which I, as a fight fan, I can't be mad at, and as somebody who likes Terence Crawford, like you get a chance to fight Manny Pacquiao. I mean,
but I also heard
you would have. Because you would have Pacquiao above Terence Crawford potentially, Shawn, wouldn't you? If you were just listing fighters.
If I had to choose who I would fight first,
yeah. Like if somebody said it,
I've gone back and forth with that myself. Like I really, if I had to put one on top, I probably would put Manny on top. But it's like it's so razor thin for me as a fighter to get in the ring with either of them, and those are my top two fights right now. So
yeah, that's a legend.
Shawn, do you literally just have like, if it's not Terence, Pacquiao, Earl, it's hard to get your interest? I feel like that. You know, I'm just
kind of where I am.
Okay. All right.
Hey, you know what's funny?
That's what I'm getting from you.
You know what's funny is I had a couple conversations with Keith about 2 months ago. And first conversation, we were just catching up, small talk. And I, told him about the podcast. Yeah, I heard of it. How you come on sometime. That little talk or whatever. Then the next time, Russell Peters is down there doing a show and ran into Keith and wanted to get me on the line with Keith. And I had just a couple conversations with Keith, right? So I go to hit him up again, and I ain't hear back from him. I'm like, dang, I must trying to move in on him to make a fight happen. So he started answering the calls.
He thought you were getting friendly just to get the fight.
That's why I was like,
well, they're great to hear from you.
Oh my God, go. You know what I mean? Hey, we got our next guest. Who was what?
Carson, who the hell is these guests?
Oh, you wasn't ready?
Let's do it, baby. But all
right, we got 23 and 4 coming to the Puerto podcast, coming off of a big knockout Thursday on NBC.
Okay.
Link City, USA.
Okay.
Brandon the Cannon.
Okay.
What's up, boss? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. How about yourself?
I'm good, man. You good? You healing up, man? It was turning into a long night.
Thursday. Man. That was crazy. That was wild. It was the wildest night and the wildest fight I've ever been in.
It was a lot going on in that fight. It wasn't just two guys fighting, man. There was a lot going on. Why don't you kind of spell it out a little bit for us? What was going on?
All right, man. Being in the ring, first and foremost, when I fought Sonny Duberson, December 3rd, I kept expressing to them fighting outside and spraying hand sanitizer or sanitize, whatever it is in the ring,
Yeah.
I don't think that do any fighter any justice. Now, when we fought in Los Angeles at the Wild Card in the Wild Card's parking lot, because it was extremely cold that night. It was December. It was cold that night, and they spray and sanitizer in the ring. It was slippery. So this time around, we fighting in Puerto Rico. It's humid. It's humid, and they just got through from sanitizing the ring, and we go in there and we fight. And before the fight even started, you see, I'm trying to find an area trying to get the referees to pay attention to the fact that it's very extremely slippery in the ring. And I'm aware of the fact that since it's this slippery, how in the heck could I be anything remotely close to who I'm naturally in the ring?
You're very athletic, and you're a mover. And I knew that was going to be a problem. I mean, and it was coming out of the gate. I mean, after the first round, I look over and see your corner, kind of hoorahing at the ref and things like that. And it just it continued the whole way through. I see now, like your patience is gone even now to this point. Like, the fight's over, bro. Let it go.
It's just so many things that was taking place.
Yeah.
During a fight that the referee said, I'm saying that I won't air, I won't say right now, but that it was just extremely disrespectful to me, man. And the fight couldn't have went at the end. You know what I'm saying? I knew once I laid hands on him, just one solid time, I never got to hit him solid. I hit him solid in the body, and it was the points taken away from me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, these are bet line punches. My man's got his cup up. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I'm hitting him to the body. Every time I touch him to the body, referee tells me, after he gives me one warning, he take away the point the next, and then he tells me, clear as day, hey, you do it again, I'm disqualifying you. So now, what's on my mind right now, if you go to the body again, you're getting disqualified. So now I got to completely not be me going to the body. Now I'm trying to get on the inside and work. And as you can see, it's like a magnet, and I got metal shoes on, and somebody's at the bottom pulling this magnet. I'm slipping and sliding. I'm trying to figure out how to get it done. So now while I'm fighting this guy who can only go back and forth, he's no disrespect to him, but the way that the fight went is if you hit mitts, you sit right there and you let go on mitts. Pang, pang, pang. You don't have to really move. Well, that style of fighting, at least.
You're right. Right.
So he hit mitts, and now it's my job to not be a mitt, and I'm slipping and sliding. So in the midst of this, I'm catching punches. I'm taking punches. I got no business taking. Punches, Shawn, that I normally would be moving away from.
Right.
Naturally, but I can't this time. You know what I'm saying? Damn, here they come. You know what I'm saying? So now I just got to brace myself. I got to show a different side of me, which I wasn't ready to show. I mean, I know I got it. A few people who know me personally know that I'm sturdy, I'm tough, but I don't necessarily want to prove that until it's like a real time. I mean, that was a moment to show it, but it didn't have to be shown had they took the proper procedures to make sure that since this is supposed to be this level of fighting, y'all want to take care of that. And that's why I'm like, yo, man, it was very exhausting. It was extremely exhausting. I wasn't going to stop fighting because I don't know how to quit. So, but my corner, man.
Let it go, bro.
I'm glad. No. This is the part, man, where I give my corner as much love as I possibly could, man. If I could take anything back, I wouldn't, man. They was out there. They ready to fight for me.
Yeah. I told you that.
I'm in Puerto Rico, and how we feel is us against them. Bro, we was ready to do that.
Yeah.
In or out the ring, we was ready to do it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy, man.
Hey, listen, I was watching your corner during the fight, and like I had a lot of different emotions go through myself watching your corner operate that they were operating. And one thing that I even brought up on air was that I felt that there would have been, if you had Dub in your corner, that things would have been a little differently in the corner in between rounds. And but another thing that I saw was that your brother was so fired up and so ready to basically defend you at any cost. Not to say that he wanted to get in the ring and fight for you or anything like that, but I just I read that in his body language that he was ready to defend you no matter what. And I was like, I looked over, I was like, dang, like if I got into something and he was around, he'd be right there to ride with me. I was like, yeah, that's my guy right there. So y'all handled it the best way that y'all could. And I know moving forward, is the plan is to always have Dub as close as possible, right?
To some degree, man, but I'm not gonna lie to you, dude. Like I said, man, I wouldn't take anything or change anything. Dub come from a time and age, man, where Dub got robbed a bunch of times, and it you know, it was quiet. It was a quiet thing. Dub from Mississippi. Dub come from an era where a lot of fights, he flew out to go fight in different countries, didn't speak the language. He was the only person who spoke English there. And, you know, he didn't know what was going on. Imagine that, you know, having a whole corner that didn't belong to you come and don't even speak a strip of English, a lick of English, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of times he walked, you know what I'm saying, with his chest up high, but his head down low, because he didn't win those fights that he possibly could have won had he had somebody there to represent him. And going into that fight, man, just I had an opportunity to listen to everything that was said during that fight. I had an opportunity to listen to the commentating, man. And like I said, man, I'm happy. I stand proudly, you know what I'm saying, and say, dude, I back my guys. Everything that they did, they was willing to fight. It's because they knew that their guy was in there fighting. And they wasn't going to back down, and they knew I wasn't going to back down. They wanted me to stay focused. I was completely focused on the job at hand. It's more so of them needing, like, they just wanted to remind me to stay focused because of all the stuff, all the shenanigans that was happening.
Let me ask you this: are you at a point are you in a place now where you can look at the fight and I guess learn from it, or are you still at that point where you're like, well, you understand what was going on, and so you're like, hey, the fight went the way that it went because of the ring and because Serhii was doing this and that, or you know, have you got to a point where you've been able to watch it and see some ways you can improve?
So I look at it from multiple aspects. For one, there's just no way I couldn't be me whatsoever because there was absolutely no movement. I had to go in there and fight a fight against a guy in which I wasn't expecting to fight, but I fought it. Really, man, it's a lot that I can pick up from that. You know, I could do a lot better, a lot more. But honestly, it's just like, how could you try to think of different solutions when it was so many things taken away from who you are naturally? Cut that out, man. It's my little boy. But it was so.
What about the hook though, man? When you landed that hook, like everything changed for you, and I could see when you landed that hook, you knew that was the one. How did that sequence happen for you?
I had to find somewhere in the ring where, first and foremost, man, I paid attention. I have to pay attention to everything, but I was paying attention to what the referee was doing. Every time when Serhii looked like he was starting to try to build up momentum with me being on the ropes, the referee would come in closer and closer, and I'm thinking to myself, this guy looked like he's going to try to stop the fight. He looks like he's going to try to stop the fight. So now, in my mind, okay, you take away a point after one warning, then you threaten to disqualify me. Okay, so now every time when I'm, Serhii looked like he's trying to develop some kind of, he looked like he's trying to establish something. Referee looked like he's coming in to do his job. So I'm like, oh snap! So now what could I possibly do? I can't lean on the ropes earlier in the fight. He said, "Hi everybody." I can't, I can't do it earlier in the fight. So I had to find where I felt most comfortable being able to really exchange. And it was against the ropes, because now I won't slide as much because I can put my back up against the ropes. Right. But I also know that this is where Serhii is the most dangerous. Right. He's the most dangerous. It's crazy. So, I leaned into the ropes and I found a spot in the ring where I felt, I had my feet under me, and literally the whole fight, only time even when I was throwing body punches, even with the hook that knocked him out, you see my feet slide a little bit. It wasn't all the way up under me, but that was the first time I hit him flush. I hit him solid. Yeah. But I hit him solid, and I said to myself, if I hit this dude one time good, if I hit this dude one time solid, this fight is going to completely change, and everything that I had spoke of was going to come to in existence. I finally hit him solid when I was leaning on the ropes. Not as hard not hard, because I didn't think that punch did it, but it did. All right, man, get out of here.
Trying to do an interview.
Yeah,
how you gonna yell at somebody else's kid, man? You wild.
Hit him with a Did that and Brandon
did Shawn and said, "Hi, Daddy." Hey, we don't even look that much alike.
Brandon, did that? So you mentioned kind of having to overcome everything with the ring, with the ref. Does that make that knockout feel even better for you that you had to deal with everything up to that?
Yeah, that knockout. You know what I'm saying? Camacho actually saved me. As you can see, I started to trump. I was marching over there towards Manny and them because there was a lot of stuff that I heard that them saying, and there was a lot of he said, "Oh, you know how boxing is," but I was like, "Nah, man, y'all took it a step further." So I was on my way going over there to say something to him. Camacho grabbed me and pulled my shorts so far up my crotch that I forgot. You know what I'm saying? I was all the anger I had in me. It disappeared. I was like, "Whoa, wait a sec." You know what I'm saying? It definitely made my voice go up. But yeah, the knockout, the stoppage, man, for me, it made everything like man, it was crazy. That whole night was a movie for me. It was you couldn't have scripted that up, and everything that was taking place with me outside of the ring and preparing up for this fight. All of that stuff that happened, man, that was like a movie scripted. And
Mark Ortega asked you in the fighter meeting if you felt like this was a Cinderella story for you.
And I was cracking jokes about it. Remember? And I was like,
yeah. I see, if you look at it certain ways because of the things that you've been through in and out of the ring, it's somewhat, it does have a Cinderella story type of feel to it. The boxing movie. And that night I was looking after the knockout and everything. I said, yo, he couldn't have wrote a better script than that. You know what I mean? To have the adversity that you had, the ring, Serhii coming on strong, the ref basically stopping you from doing your job because he's telling you that you aren't able to do certain things. You feeling like you couldn't do certain things. And then for you to have the big knockout that you had at the end, I felt like it was a story that came to a beautiful ending right there in that moment. And with that being said, the question now has to be, what does Brandon Adams want next? I know that there's a fine line between what you want and what you're gonna get, but what do you want next?
Honestly, man, since I've been home, I ain't had much time to think about it.
Yeah,
wasn't gonna say nothing, but I mean,
you want to be invited back. That's all.
No. Life goes on and everything, man. But my pops was on. He was actually on life support before his fight. And I had to channel in and, move past that stuff. That's another reason why my team was extremely emotional. Right. Because I didn't know that he was already passed. They did. Oh, so, man. They was like, man, y'all can't steal this from us. Y'all can't take this from us, Brandon. You got to do it. They had a sense of urgency of knowing all of that. I found out when I made it home. Yeah.
There's a lot of passion in that on that corner.
But, I don't know right now. I'm like in a flux. I won. Yeah. When I came home, I don't know how to feel.
Yeah.
Like I'm a winner so much, but I'm trying to figure out how to separate it. Absolutely. I can understand and recognize, like, look, dude, this is life, and separate. Yeah. But I don't know yet. So far, I haven't really had actual time to think about it, man. I'm extremely, grateful and honored to be able to fight, put on.
No, man, nothing else needs to be said, man. The only thing that needs to be said is these people out here have to understand that we're fighters. At the end of the night, at the end of the day, we are entertainers, but we're entertainers that have our own lives. Okay. Unlike most entertainers, y'all don't get a front seat to our lives, So sharing that on the show was enough for me to understand that you have a lot more to take care of and handle right now than what's going to happen for you in the boxing ring. as always, man, rest up, get healthy. We'll like we always do. We'll talk offline.
I have a question real quick though.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I got a question too.
So Brandon mentioned his shorts, which the outfit was solid. Shout out Styles Make Fights, Scorpion. Are you excited for the Mortal Kombat movie coming out?
Yeah, I am. It's funny because I didn't necessarily know that movie was actually coming out before I did that. And when it came out, it was perfect. That was great. Yeah.
Hey, Brandon, they say everything happens for a reason in life. Kind of like where you came from, hard times coming up. I'm pretty sure coming out of California, the area you came from wasn't easy. And boxing is not easy. Most people facing all that adversity you did in the ring because of the first couple rounds, you was dominating. Like me and Shawn was talking, we felt it was 50-50 fight. The guy was definitely tough. But a lot of people didn't give you a chance. Some people felt like you wasn't going to get it, but I knew you would get it done. But it got kind of tough for you, man. I was like, come on. But you was facing, I hate to say it, I'll say it. You was dealing with the bullshit from the ref. You was dealing with the bullshit from the ring. And then you got other BS going on. Most people mentally break down from that. You got really frustrated, but you held it together, man. People could have went Tyson mode on him. And you know how Tyson was when he get frustrated.
Ears get lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, man. I don't know. I just, even in them throughout of all of that stuff, I feel like no matter how hard or how tough it gets in the boxing ring, I've had a rough or a tougher beginning outside before I start boxing. And then I always think like, no matter how tough or rough I had it growing up, there's always somebody out there, if not in my backyard or in my country, in another country or third world country, who's, who's fighting without limbs or something crazy like that. It's just, somebody's always got it way harder than me. So like, before I start to complain, before I completely give up, who am I? Who am I to completely give up? Who am I to start to really complain? Like, that night, man, when I was talking to the ref and I was asking, I wanted everything to be completely fair. I didn't care, yeah, we both slipping. If I hit him, like that, well, all right, my apologies. I'm not a dirty fighter. You know what I'm saying? Like you let's correct the error. Let's move forward. But when you see, you keep getting on me for everything that's being said, and all it takes is for his corner to go, hey, and say whatever he say. Manny say to the referee in Spanish, abajo. That means below, talking about I'm hitting them too low. And next thing you know, I'm like, yo, what kind of brotherhood is this? And it probably wasn't even like that. But just because I know, because I saw what was going on, it was so many things that was happening. And I didn't get completely deterred because I'm like, somebody always got it harder than me. And who am I to give up on national TV? Who am I to, my kids are going to look back at this. That's why I always say, like, once I hit this guy, once I hit him solid, flush, that's all it was going to take. And I know he's tough and I know he's got the 18 knockouts, but he hasn't felt, what I was capable of. And a lot of people, I always thought of that of myself though, man. I don't think I'm the strongest guy. I don't think I'm the baddest guy. I don't think I'm the, but I feel and believe, man, if I can hit somebody solid, then they know where I'm coming from. And that can change the fight.
Yeah. Well, hey man, we're gonna let you go. I don't want to keep you all day or nothing like that, man. Congratulations again. No. We will talk offline. Appreciate you, man. Love you as always.
Always, man. Always love, man. God bless all y'all.
Yep. Take it easy.
Bless, man.
So for anybody out there that doesn't know, I'm gonna go ahead and introduce y'all real quick. Chris just got off. I'm sure he'll be back on, but this is Gilbert Medina, and also we will have Chris Oleksandr, and these are the guys who are the owners, creators, masterminds, business and creativity alike. Chris Oleksandr and Gilbert Medina, welcome to the Puerto podcast. That ain't even your car while you back there. I got
Oh,
I'm sorry. I'm gonna bust you out. Yes, no, that is not his car. Hey, you know what it is. You know who he is. They gonna accept him for what they see, and I'm letting them know what you see is not real.
Hey, you know what people are rolling.
It has character.
That's
Welcome to the museum.
As character, I agree.
I thought you said that's Hector. I said, what? You named it?
Yeah.
Hey, you over here talking about that ain't my car. I don't know. Is that your braids though?
Oh, yeah, this me. This all me. This all me. Is that you? Is that you on top of your head?
Oh.
Hey,
man, go in on it.
So I've been growing it for a long time. So I mean, after about 6 months, I finally got long enough to kind of shape it.
Listen, fellas, I want to basically, man, introduce y'all to the Puerto Way podcast. All the followers are part of Puerto Way, and I guess the boxing world who may not know y'all yet, who have not had y'all have not had you chase them down yet. So, Chris, that's basically how we met, and Chris and Gil, y'all both were kind of were y'all speed walking or were y'all running?
No, we ran too.
And they ran, and as they got closer, they knew they should slow down and just start speed walking. But we met way back in 2015, I think it was, huh?
Yeah. 2015 in the courtyard of LA Lodge. Yep.
And these guys said, "Hey, man, we're new to the scene. We just need an opportunity to. We want to make your fight gear." And I said, "All right, whatever." I didn't really care either way or the other, but I understand fully now where y'all come from and what y'all goals are. Can y'all bring that to the Puerto Way? Tell Chris, I know you probably do it best. Tell everybody what SMF is and what y'all goals are for boxing and sports alike.
Well, SMF stands for Styles Make Fights. It's a combat sports brand that we eventually plan to transcend the sport of boxing into all sports and compete with the big majors. Really what our plans are with this brand is to create something unique and exciting for boxing, something that when the fighters wear, they can really be excited and look back at their careers and know that they were part of something great and how they help contribute to the brand and how the brand helped contribute to them. What we've been doing with this brand is we've been changing the game of combat sports, in particularly boxing when it comes, just to start. Like most business books say, you start in one field and you grow and you expand and you make that one thing great and you take that and you transcend. So, Gilbert is a brilliant designer, and we felt like we can take that image, that imagination that he has, and really truly add a character to it, put it behind a brand, and help him expand the sport of boxing, and then the different uniquenesses that we can bring to the sport, being that we can utilize that imagination with each and every different fighter that we work with. You in particularly, Shawn, for example, you're very artistic. You're the first fighter to use abstract art. And I'll be the first to say that you are the first fighter in the sport of boxing to use abstract art. Mm-hmm. And we were able to take that vision that you had with Gilbert's imagination, put that together and push that out there to the world so they can see a fight. Mm-hmm. Which is something that they may not be used to seeing, a fight with different artwork and just different, you're not out there wearing a shower curtain, you're out there wearing something beautiful, something that looks like you. And, just like the saying says, and I can go on and on and on, but just like the saying says, you look good, you're going to feel good. Mm-hmm. And you're going to feel good and you're going to come out with that victory. Yeah. And I think you can agree, Shawn, because every fighter that wears SMF seems to win and win big.
Man. Yeah, man. Hey, and then I got a question for you, Gil. Tell everybody where you get your creativity from, where you come from, and the things that you've done that causes you to create these beautiful outfits that a lot of the fighters are wearing now.
So pretty much it just comes from everyday life. I like music. I like art. Growing up, my grandparents would make piñatas out of from scratch. So that's where I feel like I got the creativity to make these unique outfits. But when it comes to particular, certain fighters, and they just tell me, hey, I want something that's red, black, and yellow. I'm talking about your outfit against Keith Thurman. Because you didn't tell me, hey, I want this. You just said, hey, I want black, yellow, and red. Mm-hmm. And so I was just like, hey, you know what? I went, did my research. I looked up what Shawn likes, saw that you like art. And then pretty much I just started putting together a couple of different designs, a couple of different things were going in my head that I just wanted you to see on an outfit. And it just comes, I don't know, just I get inspired from the hard work that it takes each person.
Yeah.
That's how it gets to me.
And that's exactly what it is. I've told you guys before, I sent y'all a picture of two guys in the ring one time, and they both had on Everlast gear, and they both had on black and white. And I said, this will never happen with SMF because you guys make one-of-a-kind gear for each individual. You guys don't make 10 pairs of trunks and 10 robes and say, hey, we got this hanging up for you whenever you want it. You call up Gil and you call up SMF, you tell them the color scheme you want, what motivates you, so on and so forth. Tell us about Brandon Adams' gear. Now he did Bowser, and then now he just did Scorpion. How did what was that conversation like with him?
So when it came to the Bowser outfit, it was just he was like, hey, pretty much Chris told him, hey, we should do Bowser. And he was like, all right, let's run with it. Yeah. So we ran with it. And then we came up with the whole Bowser Mario theme outfit. And then now with the Scorpion ones, Brandon came to us and he told us, hey, let's do a Scorpion theme outfit. So we just went to the drawing boards. I looked up every single Scorpion that has been made. Mm-hmm. So from the very first Scorpion to the most recent, which is now, and I just took bits and pieces of each Scorpion to make that specific fight short.
Nice.
So it's just a matter of doing our research and asking the fighter what is it that they would like to be in, and that's how it came.
Is there somebody, Gil, as far as whether it's movies, video games, music, is there somebody that you would like to make a trunks or a robe for, like a character or like an album themed?
One specific movie that I would like to do is I'm a big Harry Potter fan, so I would like to do a Slytherin themed boxing outfit. Like whoever wants to wear a Harry Potter Slytherin
Shawn
themed
next
outfit,
fight.
Let's do it. Yeah.
I ain't gonna sacrifice myself for him.
But as far as I'm ready to work for it and do any type of outfit. But I like a lot of retro, like a lot of video games, arcade, like Galaga, because I know I can beat that top score that Shawn has up in his Galaga game. But yeah.
And Chris, so people can get a visual, and we'll insert it in here. Let's name some of the fighters that you guys work with and their biggest fights, like moments of stuff they had on representing you guys, SMF.
Oh, man. I mean, the list goes on and on. I mean, the first and foremost, one of our most favorite outfits, and I'm going to throw this out there, we talked about earlier, was the Shawn Porter-Keith Thurman fight. That fight right there opened up a lot of doors for us, and they also helped us understand how far we can go with our creativity and how we can actually get the process done. That's first and foremost, making sure that we know the process and we can make a promise and deliver. Once that happened, I would have to say, working with Teofimo really opened up some doors for us because we were able to do something different for him via his trunks and his robe. If you look at all the shorts that we made for Teofimo, he has sequins on one side of the shorts, and it's kind of triangular in shape. The reason for that is because when you're developing a fighter's outfit, you also have to think about their careers and what they look like to the public and also the people flipping channels. It's just like any character or any artist, when you're seeing that person you're falling in love with, you begin to learn them as a certain way. That's going to lead me to my third fighter I'm going to mention, which is Andy Ruiz, Mr. Andy Ruiz, whom we are working on his third fight gear. We're actually going to San Diego next week to go get his measurements and some ideas when he fights Chris Arreola. But that being said, if you look at Andy Ruiz's shorts, you'll see his logo, you'll see our logo on the side, but you'll also see something unique and different about his trunks. What we did is we added different artwork, different color schemes, and different placements. When you look at the last fight when Andy Ruiz fought, and this is special, but when he fought Anthony Joshua in Saudi Arabia, you'll notice that his trunks was the war in heaven. It was a biblical war. Mm-hmm. We were able to put that on his trunks, which is very unique and special because that's the first time we were able to put something biblical on or anybody was able to put anything biblical on a pair of trunks and it be seen by the world. Okay, that was a big deal for us. It let us push the extremes and the limits.
And this
So
another crazy part of that story too, with being over there in Saudi, right? You had to get like approval for the cross.
Yeah.
What was it? So how'd that go?
We actually got a call after we sent the artwork to Andy and he approved it. We actually got a call from some boxing officials from Saudi Arabia. I got a call at 3 a.m. and that was like maybe 3 days about a week and a half. Before the fight. One of his big sponsors was going to pick up the shorts from us and take them to Saudi Arabia, but a week and a half prior to the fight, which was about 2 days prior to him actually picking his sponsor picking up the trunks from us, they called and they said that they were not going to allow the cross on the trunks. So we had to go back to the drawing board, reprint the trunks, resew, do everything from the ground up, take the cross off the trunks. And then at the last minute, Andy he called me up personally and he said, "Hey, Chris, it's okay. I'm able to have the cross." So it actually worked out because we were able to put the cross back on the trunks and we put it with diamonds.
Yeah, we put
crystals.
So we put crystals on it.
Yeah.
That's how we made the cross.
Nice.
Yeah. So I would have to say those are the most some of the most funnest trunks that we've done leading up to the Brandon Adams fight. And just to touch back on the Bowser and the Scorpion, that was really special because Gilbert and I are 80s babies. We come from a time that doesn't really it's not seen anymore, and that is the time of video games, blowing in cartridges, put Q-tips to try to make them work. All those different Mega Mans and all those different ideas like that we grew up with. We're now able to embody that. So when we learned that we can make these outfits, we were like, okay, let's hit them with the Mario because everybody can relate. And then the second one was the Mortal Kombat, and it just happened to be timing, right, Gil? Because we were able to, the movies coming out, and then Brandon Adams came out, and I mean, what more than to have him actually finish him? Like he finished Scorpion, finished him.
Right. Finish him. Yeah. You guys are doing fantastic. I'm glad I was able to get you on here right now. This ain't gonna be our last time. Y'all got anything else for the fellas?
No, that was it.
I just want to thank them being our first sponsors. And Shawn move out the way, you can see it.
There it is.
Hey, there we go.
Hey, I do have one thing. So Chris, you mentioned blowing in the cartridges on Nintendo games. Somebody actually came out recently and claims that it didn't help. They said that was all in your head, but I think that's BS.
It don't matter. It don't matter.
There was just buildup in this.
100%. Yeah, somebody came out. They said, "Nah, it didn't help." I was like, I don't know.
It worked.
I had a little.
No, it did help. Now I'm gonna tell you this, guys. What's special about that? The whole story about the blowing, and I'm gonna let you guys go because I know you guys got other things to do. But the special thing about the blowing in the cartridges is this was happening at a time when the internet was not what it is. And there was only magazines, and people were not saying that in magazines. So how did everybody know to do that?
Yeah.
Streets.
He said the streets.
The streets.
The streets were talking.
We appreciate y'all for coming on with us today, making some time. We look forward to more of those great outfits that y'all got banging to come. And tell everybody where they can see y'all the outfits and make orders.
Yeah, you can follow us on Instagram at Styles Make Fights Official, and that's where all of our outfits and up and coming outfits that we're doing are displayed on there.
Yes. And be sure that you guys continue to follow us and on our journey, because what you're going to see over the period of time and over the coming weeks, months, and even years is you're going to see a brand actually hop out of the combat sports fish tank, and we're going to hop into the big old SeaWorld fish tank with all the other big majors, and we're going to be doing all kinds. We're going to be soccer brands. We're going to be doing football, basketball. Don't be surprised if you see the Lakers come out. You're going to see an SMF logo on there.
I told somebody the other day, Chris, and I'm gonna let y'all go. I said Chris is very ambitious. I said he has some crazy ideas that you'll just be like, no. I said, but the thing with Chris is he won't let it go. He'll keep speaking it, and he like, all right, come on, let's just prove him wrong real quick, and then the stuff actually works. You know what I mean? So
it actually booms.
Chris is very ambitious.
That's the power of speaking it into existence.
Yeah.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it, y'all.
Hey, who was the one outside of LA Live said that's Shawn Porter? Which one? Who was that? Who was the one
that was me, because we had just left a weigh-in for Aaron Martinez when he was fighting. Who was Aaron Martinez fighting that time when we were there? Robert.
No, it was.
No, it was.
I forgot, but it was. I think the Ghost was fighting the main event.
Yeah.
It was, Robert Ghost Guerrero.
And then we saw Shawn, and I said, "Hey!" And I tapped Chris like this on the shoulder. Hey, there goes Shawn. And it was. We literally ran, and then Shawn just goes like, "Whoa, slow down."
Yeah, we were so excited. I mean, the look on our face was similar to when you remember when Smokey and Craig were outside, and they noticed that the car was creeping up, and they said, "Right, bye." We had that envisionment when we saw Shawn. It was so exciting, man. We couldn't help it. But let me tell you guys this because I know we keep going back and forth. But the thing about it is the humility of Shawn Porter. Let me just say that real quick. The humility, because this man did not have to work with us. He did not have to give us the time of day. He had other brands, much bigger brands at the time. And at the time, we only had a couple fighters. The proof of believing in yourself, okay? This man gave us the time of day. So we want to thank you so much, Shawn, because of your willingness to be able to give us the time of day and give us a chance. I mean, 4 years later, here we are, man. So
hey, man, we all here, man, and we all doing the best we can, man. God bless y'all. I'll talk to y'all.
Hold on, Shawn. Don't let him go. Hey, Gilbert, in 10 years, when you guys are making $100 million, I'm telling you right now, he's going to leave you.
He's been muted. Hey, y'all have a good one, all right?
You all right, everybody. Thank you so much.
Well, before we go, we got a couple of fan questions real quick. Anthony Bernal, you were muted. I think I got you. I brought you back.
I'm back, baby.
You got kind of crazy. I had to stop.
Oh, okay.
What we got, Carson?
So first one is from Bucket Getters on YouTube. And he would like to know, or they would like to know. Yeah, I mean, we could all be described as bucket getters, but he wants to know best up and coming boxer, Vergil Ortiz or Boots Ennis.
Oh, Shawn, that's a good
tough right there.
Both great prospects, and not even prospects. That sounds.
I was gonna say they're like more than prospects. They just haven't really gotten all the way there yet. I really like Ortiz's power. I think if anything, I can say that's the separation with those two. Both guys can box very well. Both got a very good eye for the game. Makes the right moves at the right times. I'm gonna go with Boots because I'm just a fan and I know where he comes from. So I think if anything, I have more faith in him because I know where he comes from. I know what his family's all about. And he's gonna be that guy. He's gonna be a champion. Vergil's gonna be a champion too. But I just feel like if you put them in the ring against one another, I wonder if they fought before in the amateur.
And they both have. I know Vergil Ortiz, I believe, is supposed to fight Maurice Hooker.
Yeah, he's in the ring with Maurice.
And I think Boots also might have a fight that was maybe a little bit of a step up. I could be wrong. I could be projecting that, but
I thought I saw something like that. I just don't know the name.
Yeah, I can't think who it was, but yeah, he had another one. So the other one is interesting.
Well, what a hell of a question, Bucket Getters. You give me an answer. What you think? Who's better? Damn it.
Yeah. So this one I actually had to follow up to clarify because I was.
You're getting mad at
the.
So I had to follow up and clarify on this one because the question caught me by surprise. And
Boots is fighting Lipinets.
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah.
In May.
Both very good step-up fights for those guys. So Patrick Hassenfleck wants to know a breakdown of Andre Ward versus Canelo currently. Because when they asked this, I said, it's like a fantasy matchup, like in their primes. And they said no because there's always kind of rumblings that would be a guy that Andre would come back for, would be to fight Canelo. So they would like a breakdown of how that fight could end up playing out.
I think now Canelo is in the prime of his career. And I think getting in the ring with Andre Ward would cause him to be even greater than we've seen him before. The thing that gets me with that fight is, I'll go back just a little bit. Both fights with Triple G, I felt that Canelo fought more of Triple G's fight than he fought his own fight. I thought the second fight he made some small adjustments, but they still fought kind of that toe-to-toe type of fight. And I didn't think he needed to fight that way. I think we've seen him fight other styles, and I felt like he could have fought a different way to beat Triple G. So I think that Dre is the kind of guy who could get him into fighting his game, and get him to do some, like before Canelo fought Floyd, he had never been in the ring with anyone like Floyd. We saw that we saw him have troubles. I could see the same thing happening with Dre. Dre's the kind of guy who he can do a whole lot. He's not a great banger, but he can bang enough to will you into thinking he's gonna bang, and then he'll move the fight more back out to the outside. He has a way of being able to hit a guy and then lock him up, but lock him up in a way that he's not holding. He's just you're smothered, and we're waiting on this ref. You know what I mean? So Floyd was a commander-in-chief in the ring, and I could see the same thing in the fight with Andre Ward, being a commander-in-chief in the ring against Canelo. Canelo has unbelievable power, now unbelievable speed, very good defense, which he did not display against Triple G, but I thought, again, that was because he fought Triple G's fight. So to break it down, I think that Canelo has better power. I think the speed is relatively the same. Defense, both guys have really good defense. I think there's no secret that Dre's got better feet. I think better hand speed with multi-punch combinations will go to Dre. I think that's a great boxer versus puncher type of fight, where you have a guy who's the boxer willing to punch at certain points in the fight and could win the fight. I think that's a 50-50 fight.
Andre Ward, when he was active, he was one of those guys where no matter what fight was announced or proposed, I just had such a difficult time saying he was going to lose. I was like, I just can't see somebody beating him. He just was that good, that talented. He hasn't fought since 2017. Yeah. 37. Yeah. I don't know. Canelo, you get in there with Canelo now with all the experience.
Don't go straight in there with Canelo.
I don't know.
The only rebuttal I have for you is the fact that I walked into a gym room at like 7 a.m. thinking that I was going to be the only one in there, and felt good about myself being a fighter on the road, working out. And Bernard Hopkins was already in there, already sweating. And Dre has that same type of mentality, even though we don't see him putting out workout videos and we don't see him, saying that he's at the gym and things like that. If Dre has any intention on coming back, if Dre retired with the intention that he might come back, Dre never stopped.
And there's been videos of him like shadow boxing and doing some stuff. So
yeah, which is kind of like where it all started, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would be curious if that happens. Then I actually have a personal question to close this out.
Okay.
So I'm not big on UFC, but the UFC fights this weekend, somebody won a title by the other person being disqualified. Mm-hmm. So they got knocked down and they were essentially knocked out. And I think they hit him with a knee. Mm-hmm. So the other person got DQ'd. How do you guys feel about winning a belt because the other guy got DQ'd? Does that happen in boxing?
A win's a win, baby. We can run it back, but I'll say
because it's different.
Same thing with that's exactly what happened out here with that long ass replay that the Nevada State Athletic Commission was doing.
Yeah, we remember. Yeah,
the guy who they wanted to win or should have won was in a position where he was going to lose because of a punch that they called a headbutt. You know what I mean? So they tried to do everything they could do to figure it out so that guy wouldn't lose the belt. But
and that's what happened with. That's what happened with Roy and Montauk Griffin, isn't it?
Yeah, Roy punched him while he was down.
Yeah.
Montel said, "Hey, he hit me while I was down." Next fight didn't last one round.
Yeah. First round, one punch, and he sat down, as the song says. But I think personally, it's interesting to like. I could see if it's the belt just stays, if it goes vacated. Like if he gets DQ'd and you just vacate the belt, but to win the belt, getting like knocked out and then getting hit again is kind of funny to me. I don't know. It's just weird. Hey,
Carson, speaking of UFC, before we get out of here, Iggy lost last night. The guy, he was like the Deontay Wilder of UFC, running through everybody.
He lost last night?
Yep. And my man lost and took it like a man. He's on Instagram, like, I tasted Polish power. It tastes delicious. I got to run it back. He accepted his loss and just like, it is what it is, man. I wish Wilder would have been more like that after his loss.
That was the guy that was broadcasting on the style bender or whatever.
Yeah, he moved up from middleweight to light heavyweight, and dude was just too strong.
Too strong.
Yeah. But he accepted it, man. He had posted like 10 times already. It's been less than 24 hours.
Chalking it up, and then closing it out next week. We got an all action fight. Chocolatito and Estrada.
Oh, I thought you were talking about that Benavides.
No, I'm ready. I'm ready for Chocolatito, man.
It's been a minute, huh?
I could watch him fight 10 times a year.
It's been a minute. He might not be the same.
Oh,
Carson,
he's gonna
don't
be
get
the
let
same.
down, Carson.
No, he never lets me down, except in his two TKO losses.
Hey, listen, we signed off earlier and we had to come back, so I don't know if we're gonna get that edited out or not. But if we did, thank you for watching the Puerto podcast. Please subscribe, send a like, tell a friend. We right here every week, every weekend.
Hey, and if y'all around, I'll be in Zion this weekend. You see me? I ain't gonna say where I'm staying. I don't care if you might got
Nature boy.
Oh, damn it. I set myself up.
Don't tell me you didn't enjoy what you saw, because I know you did. What you need to do now, hit that subscribe button, hit the like, hit that notification button. Check us out every week, every Tuesday, something new for you right here on the Puerto podcast.